right, y'all. Welcome back. Happy Friday. This is going to be podcast episode number 11, if I'm not mistaken. But, man, Tennessee versus Arkansas, we broke this matchup down a lot of different ways over the course of the week. Coming up tomorrow, y'all, we will have our pregame show where we break it down even more in depth, man. Like, we've been going through. Obviously, man, like, we always break this stuff down a lot. But I just feel like this week I've, dived deeper into the numbers. There's some things that I want to show y'all that I think is pretty interesting with this matchup, but just kind of like putting the finishing touches on it before we get into our pregame show. Y'all please do us a favor, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And P, I just want to get like your kind of like opening thoughts on how you see this game going. Like what's some things that maybe worry you? What do you feel good with?
Yeah, I mean, this is a team. They have some, excuse me, they have some good talent on their roster. They have some pieces, especially up front. Their D line. I mean, they got some woolly mammoths up there, man. Like I had no idea those guys were that big until you put those numbers out there. How big those guys are. They have talent really in all three levels, really on both sides of the ball. They're a talented team, but just watching the film, sometimes it looks like guys are taking plays off. They're not really giving 100%. Whether that's because they're losing or maybe they were done with Coach Pittman, whatever it is, I don't know. But it doesn't seem like the effort is always at 100% with these guys. And so I think, man, Tennessee, or if Arkansas doesn't get the effort part of it corrected coming into this game, I mean, I think we can run these guys out of the stadium. I see a lot of areas we could take advantage of them. Really, run game and pass game, and I think we can do enough defensively to get some key stops, get some pressure on Taylor Green, who, in my opinion, I don't think he does great when he actually has to move and escape the pocket, or when he has to try to make throws under pressure. I know the numbers say maybe he does a decent job, but I think maybe that's because the blitz was picked up or something. Like, technically it was a blitz, but it wasn't actually pressure. You know what I'm saying? So I think when he feels pressure, he's a different quarterback. And so, man, I just think we got to dial it up, and we should be fine if we can keep these guys from putting up a lot of points. I feel really, really good about our chances, because I think Tennessee will score some points in this one, pretty much at will.
Yeah, so actually, let me go on ahead and show the people what you're talking about, because we talked about this, I think it was last night, with these two quarterbacks. So we're talking about Taylor Green. Of course, this is from Pro Football Focus, but it's Taylor Green and Joey Aguilar. This is just their regular numbers, okay? So doesn't matter if it's a blitz, if it's not a blitz, and I'll just kind of like scroll through so that y'all can see some of this stuff. That's quarterback rating. Hopefully y'all know what this stuff means by now. Average time to throw, sacks, scrambles, interceptions, passing touchdowns, yards per pass, total pass yards, and then obviously this is the rate at which they're hitting on passes. And this is actually pretty crazy that Taylor Green is slightly, by 0.1%, slightly more accurate than Joey Aguilar is. But y'all can also see how many passes they've thrown. I mean, a lot of this stuff in this matchup, P, it is extremely, extremely similar. But now let me show y'all how they look versus, well, you know what? Let's start off without the blitz. All right? Let me show you how they look without the blitz. So this, right, is their numbers without the blitz. So you can see that the target at which they're hitting on passes, that actually goes up some. So that looks good. As far as the touchdowns, you can see that Taylor Green, he's 6 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. And Joey Aguilar is 5 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. And Taylor Green was sacked 3 times. Joey Aguilar sacked 1 time. The scrambles, Taylor Green scrambled 8 times. Joey Aguilar actually scrambled 7 times. You can see the average time to throw there. And then I'll come on over here and show you their passer rating. So it's at a 93.6 for Taylor Green. It's at a 95.8 for Joey Aguilar. Now, pay attention to this with the blitz, okay? This is pretty interesting to me. It's like one of the first times that I've ever seen it. Their passer ratings both go up, okay? It goes up versus the blitz, which is crazy. Now, to P's point, I don't think that this tells everything, and we'll break that down for y'all more in our live stream tomorrow morning in that pregame show. But you can also see that Taylor Green, his actual rate of scrambling goes up. So it goes down by 1 scramble, so it goes from 8 to 7, but the rate at which he scrambles goes up. It's the total opposite, like super opposite for Joey Aguilar. The interceptions, I mean, like look at the touchdown to interception ratio. For Taylor Green, it's now 6 to 2, and for Joey Aguilar, it's now 8 to 2. But you can see that the rate at which they're hitting on passes, that does go down, but obviously it's with a much smaller sample size. So we wanted to show y'all that just so that y'all, understand what we're talking about here, just because this is one of the first times, like I said, Pete, that I've seen something like that. But I think that it's kind of like a tale of two different things. So number one, Arkansas's offensive line is good, right? Like they pick up, I don't think that they pick the blitzes up as well as those numbers might indicate. I just think it's more like big plays. It's more like boom or bust. You got to be able to again, we're going to talk about that tomorrow. But for Joey Aguilar, it's definitely because our offensive line is picking it up well. Now, with that being said, Pete, we're going to have David Sanders coming back to start at right tackle, more than likely. And Jesse Perry bumps inside to right guard. Wendell Moore moves over to left guard. Jesse Perry and Sam Pendleton both dealing with the ankle sprain. So with Sam Pendleton, with both of them, they didn't do anything over the course of the bye. They both had on boots. But this week, it sounds like Jesse Perry practiced, but Sam Pendleton didn't, which to me is fine. But it just tells me that, man, maybe Sam Pendleton's ankle sprain is a little bit worse than what Jesse Perry's was. But both of those guys should be able to go. We've talked about Sham being able to come in and spell us, but also I think that William Satterwhite, he can do it too. But like, what are your thoughts there? Just like, how do you think that this offensive line is going to look now that it's what we thought it was going to be to start the season off?
Yeah, man, everyone's curious to see what that full unit looks like as our starting unit. Like we haven't seen that all season long. And I mean, I'm interested to see how does Wendell look going back to the left. I think he'll be fine. And then how does Jesse Perry look bumping inside? Because I think wherever Wendell Moy is, whoever he's working with, immediately becomes better. He just does such a good job passing things off, communicating. So what's it like for Jesse Perry not having Wendell next to him? What's it like for David Sanders not having Wendell? Because we saw David Sanders come in, but he did have Wendell Moore next to him, which, I mean, it's like I said, it's going to make anybody better whoever's next to him. So I'm curious to see how that looks. And then I think the health of Pendleton maybe needs to be talked about a little bit more, because is he a guy that can go? Because, I mean, we love Satterwhite. We haven't seen a ton of him. And we know that Arkansas's got some big old boys up there on the interior of that D-line. And I love that number 5. I mean, he's a guy who can get after it. He's one of the few guys to look at on film. I shouldn't say few, but he is a guy on film for sure that I'm not questioning his effort at all. I mean, he is going hard every play, gives it all he's got. What does he go, about 330, something like that? Yeah. Like he's a big old dude. So it's whatever hands full. I think if we do have to go to Satterwhite, it'll be a big test for him. But man, I'm excited to see the O-line. If it all gels the way we expect it to, I mean, that's the thing. People talk about how good our offense is, how good the O-line's been. We haven't seen this thing, at full strength yet. We may finally get to see that on Saturday. So I'm excited to see these guys go out there and play together.
So yeah, I mean, those are facts. We were also talking about the 4th and 5 podcast. So it's some former Arkansas players. One of the guys, he was a tight end. His name is DJ. I don't know why I keep on wanting to say it's DJ Duckett, but he played for Arkansas. He was really good. He's like the best tight end that they've had, maybe like in a while. He's one of their best tight ends, I think, ever. I think he's got records and all that. The other guy, I think he played safety, so you get the offense and the defensive side of it. But they were breaking down film on us versus Georgia, and they're pointing out some things, right? And y'all should go and check it out. I think we talked about them last season. If you like the type of stuff that we do here, like breaking down film and talking ball from people who know what they're talking about, they are really, really good, entertaining, all that. So, and then, of course, you can see what they're thinking about Tennessee's offense, which they had a lot of good things to say about it. And then with Tennessee's defense, they see a lot of parallels with our defense versus theirs. We're not setting strong edges. We talked about with Caleb Herring and, with some of our Leos and strong side ends too. But that like little twist that they do where they're crashing to the inside, the linebacker or maybe a safety or maybe a star player, is the new edge person. But they were kind of like breaking down some of the flaws, some of the holes, even within the like scheme, some of the play calls. That's the one game, P, that I'll say for Coach Banks. I didn't like his game plan. Like, why are you calling these plays in these situations versus Georgia? That's the only game. I mean, maybe there's a few that you can nitpick here and there in other games, but for the most part, it's just been like a lack of execution. But the whole point here is that with anybody who's looking at Tennessee's team, they have not seen our fronts at full strength yet. That's the most important part of a team. If you've got good fronts on both sides, you're going to have a really, really good team. The offensive line has looked great. The defensive line, as far as getting pressure and getting sacks, tied for first place in the country. So it's going to get even better with the influx of talent. We kind of talked about the offensive line. But on the defensive line, P, Jackson Moore's second week back. Okay, sounds like he's feeling really good. But then also David Hobbs, he's going to get to come back. To me, I just think that the pass rush that we've already seen, some of it has come from the defensive tackles, but most of it came from our edges. Now we should see a lot more coming from the inside. We're a lot deeper there. And then Marion Dye's back. We're super deep at strong side. And this team is almost back to 100% full health. So what do you think about Tennessee's defense, P?
Yeah, I think this is going to be one of the better D-lines they've faced. I'm trying to think. These guys didn't play A&M yet, did they?
No.
So, yeah. So, I mean, Ole Miss is pretty solid up front, but I think we'll have the best best D-line they faced. I mean, again, especially off the edge, I think the speed that they're going to see off the edge is a little bit different than they've seen all season long. And then, like you said, adding in guys like Hobbs. I mean, he's a true, like, he's a prototypical, like a Richard Seymour type. Rodney Garden talks about, like, a true NFL like DN that, 3 tech. Like, he's a true one of those. But he can also rush. Like, he can really rush the passer from the inside. So I think he's a guy, man. He's going to really cause some problems. Jackson Moore, I expect him to cause some problems. I'm excited to see that unit be able to rotate more, get some fresh bodies in there. Dominic Bailey has really been playing really well. I mean, I don't know if he's getting enough praise, enough credit for how consistent he's been. He's been maybe the most consistent guy up front, maybe besides Joshua Josephs. I mean, he's every single freaking play. Tyree West has been playing very well. So, hey, we got Marion Dye coming back, I think, this week as well. So we're really getting healthy at the right time. I think coming out of the bye was a really perfect time for us to have a bye. I want to see these linebackers. This is going to be a big game for them. Like you said, if they have to set the edge or if they have to maybe spy Taylor Green or drop into their zones, not get caught up in the play action, not let the play action suck you up, and then let them dump behind your head, because they can beat you there. And Bobby Petrino's gonna scheme some things up. He had a really nice play call against, I think it was against Memphis. Something that I've been big on. If you guys have been listening, I'm big on running like full routes out of the backfield. He had a freaking like tight end lined up as like a fullback, and this guy runs like 20 yards straight up the middle of the field, and then like a corner route from the middle of the field. And he had on the backside, he had 2 posts. It was like two post overs, and then that guy was wide open, like a 70-yard touchdown. Like, he's gonna have some things schemed up. So can our backers have their eyes in the right place and not get taken advantage of? But I feel good about the defense, man. I think defense will be getting a bad rap, but I trust our corners. Our safeties haven't really let us down. I mean, they haven't been getting beaten, stuff like that. Like, we got to tackle better. But overall, man, I think we're a really talented team. Like, we talk about Arkansas, hey, very talented team. I think when teams watch our film, they have to say the same thing. Hey, very talented team. And if we can just come out here and just play together, play discipline, execute our assignments, I mean, I don't see them doing much on us offensively, or doing much on our defense. I mean, I just don't see it.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, I don't. I do. I can see us executing well and them still finding success, just because, like you said, whenever you got somebody who's drawing up plays like that, where you got a tight end lined up as like an H-back and he's running a freaking 20-yard post down the field. But that goes back to our point to maybe kind of like start things off, is obviously it's always the best thing to be able to get pressure with just your front four. But if you can manufacture the pressure in a way where you're dictating the terms, you're making them go where you want them to go, then I think that it could work out well. But yeah, it's tough with the quarterback who can do so many different things. But I do feel like a lot of stress on Tennessee's linebackers and on our safeties, start really on the entire defense, but not so much, I don't think, on Tennessee's corners. I think Tennessee's corners, while yes, it's going to be challenging for them, but it's more about the middle of our defense. A lot of folks think the middle of our defense sucks. It's tough to have a good middle of your defense in like pass coverage, period. Like, it's not, but I think it's going to be, I think that we could play a perfect game and Arkansas would probably still score at least 20 points just because their offense is that good. I'm not going to say a perfect game. I'm going to say very, very close to perfect game, like a A- game. They're probably still going to end up scoring 20 points. Neyland's got to play a big role in this game.
Sure.
I just think that they're schemed, running the football, passing the football, really good offensive line, really big running backs, really big quarterback. It's just so many threats. And it's almost like when you're playing on Madden or playing on the college game. This is about how your offense is going to look, right? Like, you got that big quarterback who can move around and run. You got just a lot of different gadgetries and all that. Now, something else too that is interesting, and we haven't talked about this, but I did hear them mention that on the podcast, on their 4th and 5 podcast, that Arkansas is now a big RPO team, and we had looked at that previously, but like I said, I don't know if we ever like fully talked about it, but I think that they're like dead last as far as running the run pass option in the SEC. But Tennessee's probably number 1. Like, we run a lot of RPOs. So that was something that they were just like wowed by. But that does simplify things for our defense, outside of just like the regular option. You know what I'm saying? Because that's still part of it. So, that's there's just a lot of things that I feel like 2 really good offenses versus 2 defenses. That what are they going to look like? Because we feel like we're going to look a lot better adding back more talent, more veteran talent, with young guys and all that, having been able to rest and watch more film. but maybe they could be better too with a different defensive coordinator, with a different mindset and all of that. Maybe they have more energy. Maybe they're not loafing as much as you said, Pete. So who's gonna figure it out the quickest on offense? I think ultimately, and also take care of the football. I think ultimately that's who's gonna end up winning this ball game. But Pete, do you have any closing thoughts?
And I just piggyback off what you said. I mean, this is going to be a game of adjustments because we don't really know what to expect. It's almost like playing a new team. I think we'll see some different things offensively than maybe we've seen all year. I mean, expect some shot plays. Expect like some trick plays. You know what I mean? Like I can see them doing some type of double pass. Hey, I got beat my very first game starting at Vandy. First drive of the game, they freaking threw like a double pass, and it was a deal because that was kind of back when teams are really starting to hit those quick screens out to the flat, and so it's a big point of emphasis. Hey, that ball comes out right now, and so hey, first drive of the game, they threw like a quick screen to a tight end. I should have said, alarm should have went off. Hey, why are you throwing to a tight end? But he catches it. I'm screaming up the field, and I see him gear up to throw, and I just turn and sprint, but the guy's open like 50 yards down the field and. A touchdown. You know what I'm saying? So like I can definitely see something like that drawn up. Like you said, you can't count out Bobby Petrino on what he can do offensively. Term I like to use, manufacture points. I think he can manufacture points in that way. A deal where maybe Tennessee's we're controlling it, we're limiting them, but then you draw up a freaking tight end out of the backfield, or you draw up a trick play, like things like that. Yeah, I mean he could hit on a couple of those. So just being sound, not giving a big play. Like you also talked about, if we're going to dial up pressure, I like pressure, but I hate when it's just like there's just no point to it. You know what I'm saying? Like have a strategy to when you're doing it, why you're doing it. Otherwise, you're just wasting bodies. So hopefully we can have a good scheme and good beat on when we need to blitz and where to blitz from. But I mean, yeah, this game to me, man, if the defense can keep these guys, heck, I mean, I think we'll score a lot of offense. I mean, I think we can probably put up 50 points in this one, but if the defense can at least give me like 3 or 4 stops, I think win by 3 or 4 touchdowns.
Love it. All right, y'all. Well, listen, thank y'all for tuning in. Please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And also, we hope that y'all can join us tomorrow for our pregame show. We have a lot of good stuff lined up for y'all. But thank you. And we'll see y'all on the next one. Peace. Thanks for watching. And please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel because that keeps us growing inside of the YouTube algorithm. And if you did like this video, here's another one that you might also enjoy. Thank you. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.